Hi, my name is Christian Eris, and I'm a voice actor. A little peek behind the scenes, I've been doing these Instagram artist voice challenges. And I got 3 artists right off the bat, and I recorded them all in the same day, like in one big batch. So today's video was supposed to be different. It was actually one of my favorites. It was really fun, and I had a good time with it. Making all my little jokes, my improvs. I don't know. It felt weird to put that out today. So instead, I moved it to Monday. And that is because today's video is another artist challenge. Don't worry about it. The artist is Cloverfish, clover.fish on Instagram. And she and I were going back and forth about her characters. And I was looking through her art, and she has one character that is clearly like one of her favorites. And she sent me character description and accents and dialogue. So I read through it and re-looked at her art, and it gave me this new perspective of this character, and I just kind of fell in love with the character a lot. Jemba. He is a half drow. For those of you who don't know, drow they're dark elves. Elves with dark skin, like obsidian dark. Like, in the world of D&D, there is good and evil. Like, those are quantifiable statistics. But when it comes to role play, that stuff gets really muddled because we try to translate these definite, real tangible, these statistics, and we try to translate them into our real world, and it doesn't really quite work out. And this character, as I was reading the lines this morning, I don't know, he really, really reached out to me and he touched me. So yeah, I recorded and edited this whole, I guess it was last night. Didn't do it this morning. But yeah. So here for the next 7 minutes, it's going to be a longer one, is all Jemba. So thank you for watching. Visit my website and all that stuff. All my social media is down below. If you want me to DM games for you, let me know. Also through my website or contact or whatever. But thank you again, Cloverfish, and enjoy. Power is not something I had the privilege to be born with. Power is something I found on the ground. In an hour where I felt the most broken I'd ever been, I found a shattered sword in the dust and picked it up, and it burned. And now, for the first time, I can fight back. And I don't yet understand it. But I am afraid of the toll it demands and the conditions it imparts. If it was glowing too, then whatever happened to my hand is magical in nature. It is the source of everything keeping me alive right now, and all I know is the more I use it, the more it spreads, and the more powerful I become. And it's both addicting and terrifying. Back home, they used to call my mother Defector. They saw her as a traitor who betrayed her own people. Which, in a way, she was. But she was strong. She soon earned their trust, their respect. I, however, was not strong. I could never match their expectations of me as the son of the Great Lord Protector. So when they called me Defect, they meant it in more ways than one. They meant foreigner, outsider, traitor, stain on our people. And they also meant broken, useless, burden. And look at me now, wielding a broken sword. I, like so many, was raised to believe in a certain brand of right and wrong. I was raised for a mission. Jemba, the laughing star, bright beacon of hope in a dark sky. But I never had the power to do anything. I wasn't strong. I wasn't smart. I couldn't make a difference. I was raised knowing that the world needed to be changed, but that I didn't have the power to change it. But all of a sudden I do. And all of it comes crashing down, all these hopes and ideals and big, bold, world-shaking dreams, and it breaks through this powerless paralysis and explodes out into the world with reckless abandon. Because honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I should be doing. I think I'm still just excited by the prospect of being able to do something for once. And I really haven't taken the time to figure out what that actually means. When you're perceived as different, you're presented with different choices. For me, that choice is between being feared or being hurt. Do you really blame me for choosing the farmer? You know, I don't think I'd be alive today if I didn't have a little bit of a death wish. I think some sort of reckless abandon is needed in order to survive in this chaotic environment. It's like for the past year at least, I've been running head first, hurtling down a hill, and that momentum has led me to do some stupid things. Become an assassin, dive into the depths of the ocean floor, don cursed armor, and there's so much more. I've just dug myself a hole, but at this stage it's almost safer to keep digging than it is to surface again. One day, though, it will catch up on me. The tunnel will collapse, and I think perhaps that day will be a relief. During the siege, I lost the only real hero I ever knew. When I joined the WRS, something in me hoped to meet other heroes. Grand figures, great warriors, noble and brave. Strange how things work out. Because when I was finally sent out after my first bounty, to slay a villain known as the Skull Splitter, and instead met Groz, I knew I couldn't kill him. Not just physically, but I had been right. Grozden was the second hero I ever met. The way that he stood up for his people, fought to free them and bring them out from oppression deep underground. He reminded me of my mum. I had long since escaped the Underdark, but he was the first glimpse of light I'd seen since the siege. I wanted to fight, but I wouldn't kill hope. Those drow, they are not my people. My people were in Fairmont. The humans were not always the kindest to me, but I grew up eating the bread that they baked and the meat they raised, protected by the walls they built. And the drow of Fairmont, who told me tales of dragons and dragon lords, who taught me to speak my mother tongue, who sang me songs of magic and heroes in time we needed hope. They too are my people. But the Dark Brothers of Loth worshipping drow are not. They who buried under our walls and set fire to our storehouses. They who slaughtered human and drow, woman and child alike. They are not my people. I would as readily slit their throat as any child-eaten troll. I don't deserve to call Fairmont my home. I didn't fight for it. When they came for us, I barely even lifted a blade. Instead, I locked myself in that infirmary to try and stitch back together those who did fight and died for their home. As I held the wounded in my arms, sometimes they would regain consciousness, open their eyes and look up at me, a dark-skinned drow, with fear and hatred. And I deserved every sliver of that hate. I held them as they died because of me, not for me. I played doctor as their world burned. I'm not worthy of calling Fairmont my home, or those people my family. I was a scourge to them. I have no right to return.